You know, as someone who hates fart jokes, this movie probably just gave us the most insightful and hilarious fart joke in the history of cinema. Swiss Army Man. Swiss Army Man is an odd little indie film directed by two guys named Daniel, starring Paul Dano and Daniel Radcliffe. Paul Dano plays Hank, who is initially stranded on this deserted island and is on the verge of hanging himself until this dead body washes up on shore. Except the body's not actually dead, and when he goes to check up on it, he finds out that this body actually possesses all of these powers that allow him to do some, really weird things. For example, he can use his farts to propel himself through the water, and then generate water from his mouth like a faucet, and I don't want to spoil it, but let's just say he's a really good GPS. We follow these two characters on this incredible journey back to civilization, but this dead body, or invalid, or Swiss Army Man, whatever you want to call him, the guy played by Daniel Radcliffe, has all these questions about life. He doesn't know right from wrong, and really doesn't know anything about the world. He doesn't even know how he has these powers, and he really doesn't know anything about human relationships. And as Paul Dano tries to explain these things to him, you see their relationship blossom. And then you see that they need each other to survive, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally as well. The greatest thing about this movie, although it is so weird, is that there is this level of simplicity that makes it accessible and so innately human. At its core, it's this existential story about friendship, happiness, and ultimately love and purpose. And this motif of farts is just a metaphor for all the things that we bottle up and keep away from one another. All the things that you want to say to a loved one and all the things you want to do but just don't. This movie tries to promote the idea of just living in the moment and doing whatever it is that makes you happy. There are multiple moments in the movie where Daniel Radcliffe's character just can't accept these societal constructs that Paul Dano is trying to tell him about. They just don't make sense to him. And when you think about it, they really don't. This movie really pushes that existential why. Why are you doing all this? What is the point of doing everything that it is that you're doing if it's not making you happy? The performances in this movie are fantastic. Aside from Prisoners, this is the only movie that I've seen Paul Dano act in, and he was really impressive. Daniel Radcliffe also, without a doubt, has given us his best performance to date. And that's not just because it was so weird, but because it was so honest, and he was so likable and heartfelt, and just hilarious in this movie. The chemistry between these two just radiates off the screen, and not just during these moments of sincerity, but during all of this rich and hilarious dialogue. The writing for this movie was just so good. It had me consistently laughing throughout the entire movie, and even in a few spots was able to get some gut-wrenching laughter out of me. But even when this movie isn't necessarily funny, it's charming and hopeful during these amazing, beautiful cinematic montage sequences that are paired with this fun and inspiring soundtrack. And for a relatively short movie, this movie was paced extremely well. Every second was utilized effectively to ensure that everything was interesting from beginning to end. Now obviously there are some issues with this movie, but most of them are just open for interpretation. The fact that there was no explanation of where Daniel Radcliffe came from or how he got these powers did kind of bother me throughout the movie. But the ending just kind of forces you to accept it, and again, that's also open for interpretation. There's a lot of different ways that you can see why they did that. There are also many moments in this movie where things just flat out do not make sense, but that also may have been the point. I also wish that there was something more pressing to move the story along. There's never any urgency in this movie to get back to civilization because neither person has anything to return to. They even admit that they're having a fantastic time just surviving along one another in the woods and that there's really no reason to go back. So why should we care if you go back or not? The only other thing I wish this movie had was some more backstory on Paul Dano's character and just how he managed to get shipwrecked on this island and what exactly he was leaving behind. This movie does reveal the life that he's trying to get back to, but it's nothing really important or interesting enough to care about. I can understand why some details were kept out of the movie just to keep that overall mystique and to keep that runtime short, but I just love this movie so much I wanted to see more. One of the best moments in this movie is the finale. It's one of those moments where things get really real and emotional, and just when you think the movie is taking itself a little too seriously, it completely changes directions and just wraps everything up nicely. This movie was extremely aware of the type of movie it was trying to be and exactly what the goal they were trying to accomplish, and the ending reflects that. I have no doubt in my mind that Swiss Army Man is going to be that feel-good, thought-provoking movie of the year, and honestly, I hope to see it at the Academy Awards in a few months in a few categories. I just wish it was released later so there'd be less chance for it to fly under the radar. But guys, this is what good filmmaking is all about. Original, entertaining, thought-provoking, and beautifully crafted elements all put together to create this truly unique and enjoyable experience. Outlandish and risky films like these are the ones that need to be supported in this age of superheroes and reboots and generic comedies and explosions. This is one of those films, for one reason or another, is going to be remembered for a long, long time. In an interview, the directors for this movie said that they wanted to make a movie where the first fart made you laugh and the last one made you cry. And I can confidently say, mission accomplished. And for all those reasons, I'm going to give Swiss Army Man an 8 out of 10. Swiss Army Man! Have you seen it? Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. And while you're at it, let me know what your favorite indie movie of this year is so far. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. It truly does mean a lot. If you like this video, don't forget to hit like. And if you want to stick around for some more movie reviews, well, hit subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.